Sports Block. My name is Will Giddis alongside Kevin Brunson, Nick Holliday, and Mr. Austin over there at the left. We got a great game here. We got our conference champion, Middle Creek Mustangs, taking on the Laney Buccaneers. This is the first round of playoffs. It's going to be an exciting game. Very, very chilly out here. So it's going to be, just a great all-around American football game.
Yeah, it's good. First round of playoffs. It's good to see all our Creek Crazies, and the stands are packed over here on the Middle Creek side. Laney, they're from Wilmington, so they didn't really bring that many fans, but they have a good share over there. Good atmosphere, but yes, it is indeed very cold out here tonight.
Yeah, and Wilmington's a solid 2 hours away? So
about 2.5.
That's a pretty good trip coming out here. I mean, it's probably mostly parents over there, but 2.5 hours just for two and a half hour football game. I mean, it's dedication, especially in this weather. But just some stats real quick on Laney. They finished 5-5 overall. They were 1-4 in their division. So not the best record, but what I'm told, the conference teams they played were some of the better ones. So like we saw at the Athens game, expect anything, because this is high school football and literally anything can happen.
And Middle Creek finished 9-0 in conference, and they are the conference champs of the Tri-9 coming into the first round of playoffs. If you do go by stats and records, Laney is the underdog tonight. But you can never take any game for granted. You have to come out and really show your dominance.
Yeah, definitely. Middle Creek's done a pretty good job this year of coming out early and really establishing the pace of how the football games will be played. David Salmon, only 2 interceptions all season. That came in the Athens game. So, very good passer. Easily, without difficulty, calling him the leader of this offense. I think it's going to be important for the O-line to protect David. We've had some scares in the past where he's gone down for a play or two. Middle Creek's defense as well. The run block really hasn't been that great, or their run defense hasn't been that great. The secondary, for the most part, has been solid. Not quite sure what's on Laney's side of the ball, both defense and offense. So this first quarter is going to be a wait-and-see type quarter.
And I know, especially on Middle Creek's offensive side, at the beginning of the season, it was Quentin Ray and Curtis Bernston being the top receivers, but now towards the end of the season and going into the playoffs, number 9, Jeff Sladek, has really, really emerged as a great wide receiver for Middle Creek. Every game we see the long Hail Mary pass from David Salmon to Jeff Sladek, and it works just about every single time. So, we'll definitely look to see that maybe in the opening drive of the game for the deep pass to Jeff, or, one of the other 3 receivers we have in our offensive package.
Yeah, and, mentioning the receiver squad, we really do have a great run game, the duo of our run game and whatnot. Devon Johnson with his, he has those explosive find-a-hole runs, and then Nayland Lopez, solid yardage every game.
Yeah, they do run. Last week against Apex, they ran Lopez and Johnson in the backfield. I do want to go ahead and mention that Middle Creek runs the shotgun formation as their main style of offense. Rarely ever do we see David get under center. That could be a big advantage as far as offensive line getting their job done. Johnson and Lopez are in the backfield, so we do have a great advantage as far as running the ball. Johnson's one of the biggest powerhouses we have on the team, very strong, quick on his feet, and he'll always get in the end zone some way.
Yeah, and Laney's quarterback, I believe his last name is Lane. He is only a sophomore, I believe. He's actually the team's top scorer as well. He's scored let's see here, 42 points total throughout the season. And just looking at some defensive statistics, they really don't have that many sacks. They only have 6 sacks throughout the season. So maybe Middle Creek might not have to worry about the pressure getting to David, as this doesn't look like a bull rush team.
But on the other side of the ball, Middle Creek's defense, seeing that their quarterback is the top scorer, really has to pay attention to his running game. And I know especially in the Holly Springs game, I believe, we had some problems with the quarterback taking off running. Last week, we predicted that the quarterback for Apex would run a lot more. He's probably one of the quickest quarterbacks we have in the Tri-9. But he didn't really take off that much. But tonight, I expect Laney's quarterback to really put his running game into action.
Yeah, and I wasn't here for the Apex game, so I didn't get the opportunity to see their quarterback. But when we played Garner, they were very run-oriented, mixing up Middle Creek's defense between who's going to keep the ball, quarterback, the running back, the wide receiver, we got a handoff here and there. Middle Creek's defense for the run game has really been, spotty. It's been on some games, off some games. I mean, granted, Garner's number 2 team in the state, but it's still high school football. I don't really feel like anybody in the playoffs is dominant. Like there's no way we're gonna win. Like I don't feel like there's any teams like that this year. Garner's one of those teams that's gonna be hard to beat. But as far as the entire playoffs go, I don't think there's one team that really you can say is going to win indefinitely.
Yeah, Garner's definitely a beatable team. We came close a couple weeks ago when we played them. Just a few mishaps offensively here and there, but like you said, you can never count anybody out in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I'm looking at some more stats here. It appears that Lane is also the top rusher, even over the running back.
Wow.
For this Buccaneers team. So they're going to take the coin toss here. Middle Creek wins. What do you think they're going to do? Receive or defend?
I don't know. I'm gonna take my gut feeling and say that they're gonna go ahead and kick the ball off and take it second half just to be sure.
See, I feel like they're gonna actually choose to receive it just because they know that they're favored to win this game. The records show it. I think they're really looking to come out early, again, set the pace, and really define how this football game is going to work.
And Middle Creek's the kind of team that, once they get the ball, they look to score. They don't take any pity on their opponents. So, if they do elect to receive the ball, then they're going to go ahead and push it down the field for a quick touchdown. And going back on Middle Creek's defense, you said they're a little spotty on the running game, but rarely ever this year have we seen, a lot of teams get a lot of passing yards on us. Our secondary is probably one of the best in the conference, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. My sources are telling me that we won the coin toss and we have elected to kick it off and receive it in the second half. So looks like you were right. Your $5 will be processed shortly. How do you think these cheerleaders come up with the banners? Like what we're gonna? I feel like after a while you'd run out of things to put.
They've always got something new every week.
And I think we're gonna let Mr. Cafone take over here with his SNL Mustang introduction.
Also starring the Creek Crazies. With musical guests, the Middle Creek Marching Mustang Band. Our guest tonight, the Wilmington Lady Buccaneers.
Creek Crazies are already getting loud. You know, we mentioned last week they were presented with the championship student section banner, which is hanging in front of our student section tonight. And there you see them jumping up and down. I believe that we will win is kind of their signature chant that they do each game before the kickoff. We see number 41, Chris Huey, coming on to take this kickoff to start the game.
Yeah, and you know, I really feel obligated to point out that I believe Grant Jones submitted a vote for Middle Creek in that contest over, I believe he tweeted 2,000 times. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Some serious tweeting.
Well, no, it was the text message thing where you have to
Texting.
send the text to vote. He sent in, I think he said over 2,000 of those. That's crazy.
I heard we only won by, I think, 8 votes or something like that.
Oh, wow. Who'd he come down to? Austin Garner?
Probably, yeah. Laney's going to run a reverse on the kickoff. Taken out of bounds around the 30-yard line.
And looks like the Laney coach might have an aggressive playing style here, as well as Coach Castellano. If you recall back to the first regular season game, opening the season with an onside kick was definitely risky as the Laney coach tries to catch him off guard by running a reverse. As he's tackled for a gain of about 2. Looks like maybe they run an option offense. I didn't really see the option set up, but they're in that formation.
A Wildcat offense as Bats looks to run. He stopped short by the Middle Creek defensive line. I think that's the first team this year that's run the Wildcat on us. I haven't seen it much.
And I think that might be a problem for Middle Creek. First of all, not seeing it. Second of all, when it comes to third downs, it's very hard to predict whether they're going to throw or run the ball. Because, you know, traditionally for most teams, third down is a passing situation. And it looks like there's going to be a flag here. It's going to be on whoever jumped first.
False start on Laney. So the Buccaneers will have a 1st and 15 on the 34-yard line.
And it looks like there's going to be a timeout on Laney's side. And it looks like their coach is yelling at him. And we're going to get yelled at by Mr. First. So we're going to take a quick break. You're watching the Sports Block. And we're back with the Sports Block. 1st and 15 for Laney. They're on their own 34-yard line.
Lane takes the snap, drops back, rolls out to the left, gets to number 6. He's tackled hard and cannot make it back to the line of scrimmage.
Now, isn't it a rule, I don't know if this is true for any league of football, but if you drop it, if it's a pass behind the line of scrimmage and you drop it, is that considered a fumble?
I think the official rule is if it's passed behind the quarterback as a lateral. Lane takes off running, scrambles, breaking a few tackles. Finally wrapped up by a stampede of Mustangs.
Yeah, you know, really showing off his moves, I guess, right there. didn't really get very far upfield, just tripped up a few defenders. He was going to the right as opposed to upfield.
It's going to bring up a 3rd and 6 for Laney on the 43-yard line as Lane is in the shotgun formation. Bats will be beside him for this play. Gets a snap, rolls to the left once again. Passes complete, but just short of the first down marker, so it's going to bring up a 4th down and 1, and I believe the Buccaneers are going to go for it.
Yeah, I would have gone for it too if I were their coach, just with the short yardage potential of their type of offense.
Lane hands off to Bats. He's going to be stopped. No good. Laney does not get the first down. Turnover. Mustangs get the ball.
And he just hit a brick wall of the Mustangs right there, pushed backwards.
Now we're going to see David Salmon for the first time tonight.
And
I think they're going to give him the forward progress and say that he got the first down. But, you know, from here, I'm almost right on that marker, and he was at least a yard short. Lane rolls to the right. Pass tipped up and incomplete. Number 10, Terrence White on the coverage. Number 37, King Kiaku almost came up with the interception on that. 2nd and 10 for the Buccaneers. Lane and Bats in the backfield. Lane hands off to Bats. He's going to muscle his way about 5 yards.
Tackle made by Josh Hunter right there.
Be a 3rd and 5. Creek Crazies trying to make it as hard as they can for Lane to get his snap off. Three receivers. Lane drops back to pass. He's going to look deep. Pass complete.
That was actually a very good pass by their quarterback. You know, it looked like he was pretty well covered. Throw it right where the receiver could get it and the defender could not.
There's just a little lapse in coverage by the Mustangs. You know, we rarely see that though. So
Definitely do not see that very often.
Lane hands off to Bats. He finds a hole. He's going to tackle quickly by number 34, Malik Spencer.
Tackled by Malik Spencer. 2nd and 5.
Bats got about 5 yards in the run. Lane rolls right. He's going to scramble, take off running. And he's going to find his way in the end zone for a touchdown.
And, I mean, I really like the way that quarterback's running the ball. He's doing a great job finding holes, weaving through the defense. I really feel like they earned that touchdown right there if you choose to ignore that 4th down call.
And he's really showing that he is the top rusher on their team.
Yeah, it looks like the coach almost, you know, molded the offense around him. Like, for you to have an option offense, you have to have that type of quarterback. Well, not an option offense, a Wildcat offense. You know, I feel like the coach probably, you know, molded his playbook around how that quarterback runs.
With the extra point, it's going to put up 7 points for Laney, 0 for the Mustangs, but it's still early. You know, Mustangs, they're going to receive this kickoff and look to do just what Laney did and score on their first drive.
You know, I found it kind of odd looking at David on the sideline. He's not wearing any type of sweater or, you know, jacket, typically, which is what you see passers do, just to keep their arms warm, keep their joints in their arms warm. It's going to get cold tonight. It's projected to get into the upper 30s. So certainly not favorable passing conditions, especially quarterback's fingers. getting numb from the cold. And they're going to try an onside kick right here as they fair catch it at around the 40-yard line. So I wouldn't say that was the best onside kick I've ever seen, but Laney takes a risk, comes up short, and Middle Creek's ball.
They're going to take control at the 39-yard line, so relatively good field position for Middle Creek. And David Salmon has Naylan Lopez in the backfield. 3 receivers to the right side. Screen to Lopez. He's got room to run. He's going to make his way out to about the 49-yard line. A gain of 10 yards. Looks to be good enough for a first down. Maybe just inches short. They're going to measure it.
They choose to measure this one as opposed to the 4th down call.
You can tell the home fans don't really appreciate that, but
yeah, you know, I think a good point that a lot of people make is a referee should not come in the way of a game being played. The game should not be decided by a referee. They should do their job, call the penalties. And I've really, you know, sometimes like in the first game against Southern Durham where Middle Creek had just tons of penalties in double digits. Those are warranted, but for little things like this, I feel like the referees kind of need to be laissez-faire with how they go about with the game.
And we have a Tri-9 scoring update as the Richmond County Raiders lead the Cary Imps 6-0 with 10:14 left to go in the first quarter.
And I believe the winner of this game will be playing, I believe, Lee County?
Leesville.
Yeah, Leesville. They're a very good team. So whoever comes out here is going to be facing a difficult second round of the playoffs.
Middle Creek's going to come up just inches short. Salmon hands off to Lopez. He's going to get the first down on that run. As you hear it clearly from the Creek Crazies.
And another Tri-9 scoring update. Green Hope is leading Fuquay 7-0 in the first quarter.
Salmon finds Sladek on a short slant route, and he's tackled very hard. You don't want to see that. You know, like I said, Jeff's one of our top receivers. You don't want to see him go down early.
And that was a loss of about 2 yards for the Mustangs.
David's going to hand off to Johnson. Finds a good hole. Good blocking by the offensive line. He's going to make up a few yards. 3rd and 4 for the Mustangs. So Johnson stays in the game. Laney jumped, but no flag. Bad snap. We'll see who comes up with it. I think David might have gotten back on the ball. He did. David recovered the ball, but that's going to bring up 4th down. So we're going to see the kicking unit come on.
4th and 6.
Michael Rubino will be doing our kicking duties tonight.
Back to kick. Number 45, Michael Rubino. No, it'll be Pallini.
Good snap. Great kick by Rubino. It's going to take about a sideways hop. So Middle Creek will down it inside their own 20, putting Laney back in their own end zone. So they've got a big field ahead of them, but like we just saw in the last drive, they're very capable of working it downfield and getting a touchdown.
So it's going to be interesting to see how Middle Creek's defense adjusts to this style of offense.
And quick run goes to Bats.
And it seems whenever he gets the ball, I believe he's the running back, he's always falling forward. He's got some power behind his running.
Gain of 8 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 2 for the Buccaneers. Lane hands off to Bats again, who gets the first down and some more.
And somebody's got cowbells. Can you hear them?
Yeah.
I believe that's from the Laney side of the field. It's a very loud cowbell. 1st and 10, ball in 34.
Bats gets the call once again. He's going to be stopped. Just about a gain of 3 or 4 on the run. Middle Creek's going to make some substitutions on the defensive side. You got number 47, Marquise Ward, coming into the game. McNeil's in motion. They're going to run the option. Lane elects to carry the ball. Be tackled. Gain of 3, two, maybe 3 on the play.
And it looked like if he had pitched that ball or lateraled it to the running back behind him, I feel like they could have gotten more yards right there. It seemed like he had open turf in front of him.
It's 3rd and 2 for the Bucks. And this is where their running game's going to be a big part. As Lane holds the ball, gets a hole, and the first down. You know, their running game is very dominant. Bats, who is the documented running back, is a very big body in the backfield. But Lane, you know, he's so quick. At Middle Creek, they never know what's going to come.
Yeah, throughout the season he had 78 carries, 580 yards, average of 7.5 yards per rush, 82 yards per game. Longest run was 59 yards, and he had 7 rushing touchdowns.
And Lane tried to look down the sidelines to number 23, Blackman, but just over his head. Good coverage by the secondary. McNeil's in motion once again. They're going to hand off to Bats. Good tackle, good open field tackle by number 50. Josh Hunter for the Mustangs. Gain of 3 on the run.
I think they're going to throw it or rush it. I'm going to guess they're going to rush it.
They give it to McNeil. They're going to spot the ball right on the marker, but I don't think he made it that far. I think they're giving him a little. His knee was down a few yards short. They're going to give him first down.
I don't think they got. I don't think they.
Yeah, to me it looked like he went down and just slid the extra few yards. Lane gets it to Bats again.
But yeah, Middle Creek's defense really going to have to step up here to stop this running game because, as we all know, if you establish the running game, the passing game becomes a whole lot harder to defend.
Lane drops back to pass and scrambles around, finding room to run.
I don't believe what I'm seeing. He's just weaving through everybody.
He was in bounds.
Flag's going to be thrown. Lane, just casually walked out of bounds, and DeJuan Young came out of nowhere and hit him. But to me, he was still in bounds.
Yeah, I couldn't see it from here. First is shaking his head, Maybe he has a better view. Either way, that did look like kind of an uncalled for hit.
Yeah,
You know,
it was
quite
definitely
clear
intentional.
that he was going out of bounds.
But still, I mean, it's still a legal hit. But if he was in bounds,
I agree with the referees on this one.
yeah, I mean, obviously DeJuan Young was going for the hit to make a point, but I mean, he's just playing the game. And Batts is going to get the handoff. Another flag will be thrown. I believe it's in the field of holding. And it is. It's going to be on Laney. So it'll bring him back. And I don't know if the referees are just trying to make up for that last call, if they were wrong or what. But, you know, the ball will be placed where Lane originally went out of bounds.
I believe that's going to be 5 yards forward because wasn't a 15 yards, and then it just got backed up.
Okay, yeah.
10, yeah. I'm starting to improve on my math.
And a pass just out of the hands. Number 35, Miller.
I think had that ball been thrown correctly, that would have been a touchdown. The coverage wasn't great on that one.
And we have another Tri-9 scoring update. Green Hope scores on a fumble return against Fuquay, and they're up 14-0 in the first quarter.
McNeil in motion. Flag comes in just as the ball is going to be snapped. I believe it's a false start on Laney. And it will be a false start on Laney.
That's just going to push them back good yardage now. So they got quite a ways to go for a first down, about 25 yards.
Yeah, so their penalties negate the penalty, the personal foul penalty.
This is 2nd and 25 for the Buccaneers coming up. Lane keeps the ball. He's going to pass, deep throw, wide open.
He had 3 Middle Creek defenders standing right next to him, and he was wide open. Middle Creek's going to have to talk their defense into improving coming into the second quarter, because there's just below 2 minutes left here in this first quarter.
And this is not the start Middle Creek had hoped for in this game.
Yeah, like I said, high school football, underrated team, literally anything can happen.
Extra point is good, putting Laney up 14-0 over the Mustangs.
So both sides of the ball are going to have to step up here if they want to, I don't know, stay in this game. It's only the first quarter, and they've given up 2 unanswered touchdowns.
And, you know, you can never blame it on the referees, but those, you know, the first down given to Laney and the one taken away from the Mustangs could be the 2 deciding factors in the game.
Definitely. You know, I really do feel like that 4th down did not get converted.
You got Terrence White and Nayland Lopez back deep for the Mustangs, waiting for the kick.
And another onside kick.
I mean, I don't really think it's an onside kick necessarily. They're just, it's more of a squib kick, so they don't, you know, because Terrence White and Lopez are big threats running the ball, so they just want to try to keep it away from them.
Yeah, but I mean, they really haven't had any very big runs this year, not that I can think of.
Not on kickoffs.
You're giving it, yeah, not on kickoffs. You're giving the ball to the Mustangs at the 39-yard line, which is usually about 10 yards farther than they usually are.
Quentin Ray.
It's Quentin Ray getting the ball just shy of the first down marker, but good blocking by the Mustangs. We've seen that a lot. You know, when we get the opportunities, the offensive line has really had some good blocks tonight.
Yeah, on Laney's side of the ball, too, their O-line's done a great job of creating holes.
There's Johnson lowering his head at the end of the run, getting maybe 1 or 2 yards more.
So Middle Creek's trying to generate some offense here. Definitely needed to end this first quarter.
Someone's going to give it to Lopez as he finds a big hole, gets down the sidelines. He's going to tiptoe his way into the end zone. Touchdown Middle Creek as they answer that last touchdown.
That time of possession was under 40 seconds, I believe.
Yeah, about.
Middle Creek making quick work.
I think the official was 44 seconds, I think. Yeah, 44 seconds of 3 plays.
What's happening?
But there was a flag on the play,
Are
and
you
it was,
kidding me?
I think it said he was holding on the Mustang, so it's coming back.
Oh, man. It's a big momentum shifter right there. They just proved that they could break through the defense. And Lopez gets the call again, tripped up. Tripped up at the 36-yard line. As the clock just gets under 1 minute. David looks for Lopez on the screen, puts on some moves. He's about 2 yards short of the first down marker. He's going to bring up 3rd down, 3rd and 2 for the Mustangs.
And not quite within field goal range for Chris Huey just yet, I don't think.
Johnson gets the call, and he's going to get a 1st down. And clock will stop for the chains to move so Middle Creek can get back on the line and run another play. Summerth, quarterback keeper, going to be taken down.
It didn't really show off there, but David's a very mobile quarterback. And what's great about it is the defenses just typically don't expect him to run with the ball. He's traditionally a pocket passer. So when he does run the ball, it does come as a surprise.
And with the last play of the first quarter, David finds Jay Schuler, who's going to make his way to the first to the 1 yard line where Middle Creek will start the second half.
And with the end of the first quarter, we're going to go down to Kelsey Barbario with the sideline report.
The Middle Creek offense started off with a good drive, but fumbled a snap on 3rd down, forcing them to punt. The Laney quarterback is only a sophomore, but he's fast. The Laney penalties could hurt them as we move through the rest of the game. Back to you.
Thanks, Kelsey. We're going to take a quick commercial break. You guys stay tuned. We're watching the Sports Block. And we're back with the Sports Block. Middle Creek's going to start with the ball of the second quarter right on the opponent's 1 yard line, hoping to punch it in here real quick to start off the quarter.
David hands off to Johnson, and he does find his way into the end zone. Just checking the field, no flags. So that will count this time as Middle Creek goes up with their first touchdown of the game.
Yeah,
go ahead.
big starting for momentum, like a foundation for soon to come momentum for the Mustangs, because typically once they get going, they usually keep building off of it.
And Chris Huey's kick is good, cutting Laney's lead now only to 1 touchdown. You know, through the whole first quarter, you know, Laney's really gotten some big breaks as far as their running game. Middle Creek, you know, if like you said, Will, if Middle Creek can shut down the running game, you know, they'll be pretty set, because you know, I think Laney's only passed maybe twice tonight, and you know, one resulted in a touchdown, and you know, the others were incomplete. But you know, if they can shut down the running game, you know, they'll be set as far as defense. But you know, on the offensive side of the ball, anything positive coming out of the Middle Creek offense has been negated by a flag. So you know, that's why I said checking the field for no flags on that. So, you know, Middle Creek will definitely have to come out in the rest of the second quarter and the second half and make sure they are penalty free.
You think Coach Castellano is going to try and onside kick this game? Well, maybe not out of necessity, out of just catching the opponent off guard.
You know, maybe we might see it, because we've seen it in earlier games, not just the first game. But we've seen it in multiple games, as he's like to come out, you know, running, you know, what I like to call the Saints offense, because we saw in I think it was a Super Bowl, the Saints did an onside kick to open the second half. We've seen that once this year.
As Laney's going to start on their own 23.
McNeil sent in motion. They hand off to Batts. Gain of 3 on the play. Yeah, like you said, at the end of every run, he does fall forward and uses his running momentum to gain him maybe an extra yard.
We have a quick Tri-9 score update. Garner up 14-0 on Athens in the second quarter.
There's going to be a flag on the field.
And going back to the Garner-Athens game, Garner, very heavy favorite to win that one.
Flag results in a false start on Laney, their third of the game. It's going to back them up 5 yards, resulting in a 2nd and 11. Yeah, Garner does have the #1 seed in our pod, and I believe Middle Creek has the #2 seed. So, you know, they are the fan favorite and the local favorite to win the pod. But like you said, never count anyone out. Lane's gonna scramble out of 3 defenders.
I don't believe that this is happening. There's 3 guys pitting 1 quarterback. I don't see the
crazy.
problem here.
That's the second time that's happened tonight. As
Yeah.
we've had 3 or 4 rushers come in and can't get Lane down.
Yeah, with his footwork, he looks like Robert Griffin III out there, just shuffling around out there.
Oh, he's beat.
Good tight coverage by Terrence White.
It looked like that ball was going to be placed almost perfectly for that receiver. He had about a foot lead behind our cornerback, and that ball is just a few inches shorter. I believe that might have been a huge gain for Laney.
First time we're going to see their special teams unit.
A quick Tri-9 score update. Richmond County is up 13-7 on Cary.
And this punter's average is about 40 yards per punt.
And a high kick. Gabe Cooper's going to fair catch it at the 49-yard line. And we tried to see the acting skills by the Laney kicker, but no flag will be thrown.
So Middle Creek has in good opportunity to tie up this game here.
Salmon hands it off to Lopez.
And 3 flags.
Three flags
on the field. That's going to be a
definitely
face mask.
Face mask. Yeah, we saw from up here his head jerked around almost 180 degrees. You know, Lopez comes up, he's fine. Need a face mask, 15 yards, I think.
You know, that always bothered me with the face mask penalties. Why don't you just make the face mask grates smaller so you can't grab onto them? Just a thought. I don't know. Somebody get that patented.
I think any way you make a football face mask, there's still going to be a way to get your fingers in there. I know, but I've seen I know on the New York Giants, Justin Tuck has one that's almost like you're talking about, real small.
Well, you have to protect those teeth of his. I mean,
Pass intended for Cooper is incomplete.
David Salmon looks for Gabe Cooper on the sidelines. Pass incomplete, just out of reach. Second and 10 for the Mustangs.
I don't. That's the second time they haven't called that.
Salmon hands off to Lopez. He's going to find a hole. Gets a good block by Cooper and Sladek. You know, yeah, on that play, we saw the defensive line jump, but I think, I know in college that the defense has, I think it's 3 seconds to get from the neutral zone back to the defensive side of the ball. David hands off to Johnson.
The fans are screaming for something to be called on it.
I think it was a legal substitution for Laney. And I don't know if we have the replacement refs here at Middle Creek. And a one-handed catch by Quentin Ray. He's going to be pushed out of bounds. Good enough for a first down. Should be first and goal on the 5-yard line. As Quentin Ray makes an absolutely great catch. One-handed, hauling it in and gaining, you know, about maybe 6-7 extra yards. And now they finally throw the flag for offsides. Yeah, after the third or fourth time we've seen that tonight, they finally throw the yellow in. Dave's going to hand off to Johnson as he tries to break tackles. He whistled down at the 4-yard line.
Here's where you run an option. Fake to the fullback, run out, pitch it to the outside, and take it in.
David drops back to pass. Finds Lopez.
And the refs are going to rule that incomplete. That was a really hard hit.
Yeah, that was. I think David kind of led him into the hit too. Quick pass. Lopez didn't see it coming.
Yeah, he definitely got blindsided right there.
Be 3rd and 4 for the Mustangs as Johnson gets sent in motion. David scrambles, looks to pass. It's going to be caught.
Wow.
Number 15, Gabe Cooper for the Mustangs. It's kind of a weird play. And it was designed for Johnson to be sent in motion and David to find him for this quick screen, but and then David held it, looked like he was going to run, and found Cooper in the back of the end zone. And with this extra point, can tie this game at 14. Huey's kick is low, but it's going to go through, tying the game at 14 apiece.
I think that was the best fan reaction I've heard all night. Was to that kick. Oh, yeah.
I think that's the way Huey's feeling right now after he kicked it. Yeah, it's kind of like, did I really just kick that bad field goal? And then it just snuck over the crossbar.
So the game's going to be tied at 14. It's a great way for Middle Creek to come back here, scoring 2 touchdowns at the beginning of the second quarter.
Yeah, Will, it was a great point on momentum. Once they scored that first touchdown, it was just 14 unanswered right there.
And, you know, Kevin, I think he made a good point at the beginning of the game, calling the coin toss of opting to receive it at the beginning of the second half. They definitely have momentum now. Let's see if they can, I mean, still 9 minutes to go in the second quarter, but we're going to see if they can keep carrying that forward to potentially the second half.
We'll see how deep Huey can get this kick. Just a little short. Can't be taken down. Finally pulled down by Quentin Ray. Looks like Matt Veterosa was going to get the tackle, but you know, he does get credited with the tackle, but Quentin Ray came in there and helped him out.
I mean, that's a turn. You know, they're going to let him sit there and fight. And he's back on 15.
A quick Tri-9 score update. Garner 14, Athens 7 in the second quarter.
I'm definitely rooting for Athens in that game.
I think we all are. And Garner's still undefeated. We want to see him go down, especially in the first round of playoffs. Bats gets a handoff, muscles his way for about 4-yard gain.
And it's definitely starting to get cold here. I just got a nice little chill down my spine, and I'm wearing jacket and long sleeves.
Lane holds the ball. He's going to scramble around. Some nifty moves.
Get him.
Pass. And he's going to be complete.
I mean, if it weren't the Mustangs who are looking, I don't know, dumb out there, it's actually pretty funny to watch. He's just, I don't know, he's just running around in half circles and making something happen.
You know, we heard up here in the booth, contain, contain, contain. That's the best thing for the Mustangs defense to do. You don't want to chase after him because you know he's got the speed to get away. Just, you know, work him, you know, back into a corner, I guess so to say, and make him do something, you know, throw a bad pass or get the sack that you want.
And, you know, that's the third time that's happened, so Middle Creek's going to have to make some adjustments.
Bats is going to get the carry. He finds a big hole. He's going to get a first down for the Buccaneers. Looks like Laney's going to call an audible and get a new play. Hand off to Bats. A flag's going to come in. I think it's going to be a holding on the Buccaneers. We'll wait and see. And it is a holding on the Buccaneers. So to bring them back 5 yards. And I'm looking here, and I think the official temperature right now is 52, but it feels it feels a lot colder.
There's no way that's correct. Call your meteorologist. Greg Fischel, what are you doing?
Holding penalty results in a 1st and 20 for Laney.
Greg Fischel, if you're watching, I didn't mean that. I'm sorry.
The 1st and 20 for the Buccaneers. And a hard count, trying to draw Middle Creek off guard, but they don't budge at all.
Yeah, we saw a lot of that last week with Apex.
Lane scrambles around, looks to pass, and finds a receiver on the sidelines.
Looks like it's going to bring a 2nd and 10.
It's still about 2nd and 14. 13. And he didn't make it quite back to the line of scrimmage. And just over, under 7 minutes. The score is still tied at 14 apiece. Bats gets the carry. Number 50, Josh Hunter on the tackle.
You know, with the way Laney's doing these snaps, I'm surprised Middle Creek's been able to, you know, not jump off sides here. And maybe they're going to run like a longest yard play where they ask their coach, like, hey, what are we doing? And act all, you know, like confused. And then just snap the ball and catch the defense off guard. Could happen, I'm calling it.
Middle Creek brings the pressure. Flag thrown.
And it looks like the number 37 was ready to lay out that quarterback right there.
Yeah, he was on the hunt.
False start on the offense.
False start on Laney.
Makes it a 3rd and 13.
You know, it's always the one time that Middle Creek breaks through the line and, you know, could possibly come up with the sack that, you know, play didn't count. So another 3rd and 13. Lane drops back to pass. And he's going to be brought down in the backfield. Number 30, there's number 37. You know, he's just showing on that last play that he can really come through. He's getting some love from his teammates. And that was a huge loss of yards for the Buccaneers. We'll wait and see what the official score. A 4th and 27. So Middle Creek's going to send all their rushers in to try to block the punt, and they almost get it a high punt. Some good hang time. It's going to take a Laney bounce.
Hey, Nick, don't you have a math class with King Kyaku?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
I didn't see him signal fair catch.
No, I didn't see it at all.
I feel like because the rest didn't make an initial call, I feel like they should have let the play carry on and then determine if he made the fair catch.
No, yeah, he didn't make a fair catch at all. You know, Castellano's out there. He said that Cooper was just waving off his teammates not to get hit by the ball, and that's exactly what I saw. There was no fair catch. And you're hearing it from the fans tonight. You know, they are certainly not on the referee's good side.
I don't think referee's on our side either.
Doesn't seem to be. Lopez gets the handoff. You know, we've seen a lot of plays tonight, a lot of run plays especially. They're not blowing the whistle, you know, after he's being wrapped up. And if this keeps going on, you know, there's going to be some key injuries. Salmon drops back to pass, finds Slater cutting across the field. If he gets a good block, he can go. But he's going to gain enough for the first down.
You know, Dave's just shooting lasers back there. You could tell that was thrown very hard.
I think he's using, you know, these calls by the referees to motivate him, and he's really coming back. And Lopez almost dropped in the backfield. I think he is gonna loss of 2, maybe 1. You know, that could have been a loss of 5, but he made something out of that play. Second and 12 coming up. You know, as soon as the defense moved, you saw the coaching staff from the Mustangs and the fans make a bunch of noise, throw their arms in the air. They wanted that call so bad.
I mean, even the defender knew he wanted.
Yeah.
He crossed the line right there.
2nd and 7 on the 45-yard line. Solomon's going to drop back and find Johnson on the screen. Stiff arm. Gets away from 2 defenders, but knocked back. That's where I want to see a flag also. Not for the hit, but after the play, number 80 stood over Johnson, taunting him. And that's where stuff happens after the play. You want to see a immediate flag.
See, I almost feel like that's part of the game. You know what I mean?
I mean, it is, but if people want to play football the way football is supposed to be played, yes, it was a good hit. Get back to your side after the hit and continue with the next play. The taunting's not needed.
I can agree with that. It's going to bring down 4th down, 5 yards to go on the 48. Middle Creek's going to punt it away here.
Michael Rubino on the punt. And, I think Laney might be taking Rubino lightly. He's got a great leg and can definitely get past the back line of the Buccaneers. A booming kick. Ball's down, recovered by the Mustangs. I think it's going to be Mustang ball.
And I definitely think the Mustangs got the ball right there. As that hit from he had to have taken that ball out of the bottom of the pile. There's no way he had that ball. And there's going to be a flag here. And they're going to, I'm being told in the booth, that's going to be an illegal substitution on us.
Illegal substitution in the defense. Somebody back.
As we're having some technical difficulties, our mine just went out, as you just saw there. Our microphones seem to be a little malfunctional.
That's okay.
So 2nd and 4, ball on the 28. Maybe Middle Creek's trying to hold this Laney offense and maybe run down the clock.
Bats is going to get the call again, trying to run down the clock, go into halftime tied. There's definitely not enough time to work their way down the field. Just over 2 minutes. Like I just said, there's definitely enough time. Laney can produce some big plays.
And they're going to run up the side here. Going to get tackled. Only going to be gaining for about 2.
Tackled by a Stampede of Mustang.
The game's starting to get a little heated now. Laney and Middle Creek don't rarely play each other, at all. I know last basketball season we played them in the playoffs, but football I don't think we've met that much. But right now the game's starting to get a little heated as far as physical tackling and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I don't think I'm mistaken here, but I'm pretty sure Michael Jordan went to Laney.
He did.
Pass instead of Miller, broken up by Dewan Young.
Always with a high school environment, and you hear Michael Jordan went to Laney, you know, there's always the question, was he going to be there at the game? I heard that a little bit around school. No, not much, but I heard a little bit of it.
I think I can answer that. He's not here.
No, he's not here.
So he's going to be tackled for a loss. And I believe Laney's going to punt it away here and potentially give Middle Creek a chance to score going to this halftime. And it looks like Middle Creek's going to take a quick timeout, and so are we. You guys stay tuned where you're watching the Sports Block. We're back with the Sports Block. Middle Creek's going to be receiving the punt here, as Laney kicks it away.
Punt is almost blocked. Cooper's going to let it bounce. Comes up with it. He's going to be tackled just shy of the 50-yard line. I think it was making a point that he didn't call a fair catch last play and take that and try to do something with it.
So Middle Creek maybe not in the best opportunity to score here. They are on their own 47-yard line. I think the goal here is going to be maybe to get within Chris Huey's field goal range to put them up at the half. David drops back to pass, long throw, but it's going to be overthrown. Intended for number 9.
So Middle Creek will take control of the ball at the 47-yard line. David Salmon drops back to pass and finds Sladek. He's going to work to the outside. He finds a block. Oh, man. If he could have gotten by one more defender, he would have had room for the end zone. McNeil on the tackle for Laney. 39 seconds left. Middle Creek within striking distance of the end zone.
Yeah, I think maybe 10 more yards for Chris Huey's field goal range, and obviously another 32 to score.
Salmon drops back once again.
I'm not sure how many timeouts Middle Creek has left. I believe they still have 2. I'm not entirely sure, though.
And Keon Smith didn't think he was down on that play. And it didn't look like it to me. He got up and took off running.
And looks like Middle Creek's going to take a timeout here. We're going to take another quick commercial break. We'll be right back. You're watching the Sports Block. And we're right back, hoping it misses too much. 26 seconds left here in this game. 2nd and 8 for the Mustangs on the 30-yard line of Laney. That ball's going to be thrown low to number 9, Gabe Cooper.
Jeff Sladek.
We have a quick Try 9 score update. Green Hope 17, Fuquay 7 at the half.
3rd and 8 for the Mustangs. 23 seconds left in the half. And Chris Huey was warming up. I don't know if they're gonna give him a shot, maybe to try to put one through the uprights.
Yeah, I think if it comes to 4th down here, they're gonna try and test out Chris's leg strength.
David had room to run. Looks like he's gonna get the first down. He's got to get up. If he didn't,
If he slides, they do it where he gives him the slide. They do
and he does. He gets the first down.
And
Middle Creek's
Mustangs
gonna
are
take a timeout.
And again, so are we. You guys stay tuned. You're watching the Sports Blog. And we're back. 14 seconds left to go. I believe Middle Creek's out of timeout, so gonna want to run either out of bounds or score a touchdown.
And too many men on the field for Laney.
I always think it's funny when a team gets called for too many men on the field, and everybody looks exactly the same person because they all know who's not supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can start pointing fingers. David drops back to pass once again. Looks in the end zone. Just overthrown. Looking for Curtis Bernston. Only 4 seconds ticked off the clock.
And I think they're going to go for probably one more attempted pass right here before they call on Chris Huey.
Yeah, with David's last run, he elected to dive for the first down instead of sliding like most quarterbacks do, and I don't think he would have gotten the first down had he slid.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
But with that run and the last penalty, it gets Huey closer to the field goal. David's pass is complete to Bernston as he stretches out. I
thought he was down.
Yeah, if Bernston stretched the ball over the line before it was stripped out, it should be a touchdown. And his knee was on the ground.
Well, either way, it's the end of the half, so that's not really going to affect the game. We're going to go down to Kelsey real quick before the end of this half.
The Mustang offensive line has put in the drive this quarter. Devon Johnson put in over 30 yards and 1 touchdown. The defensive line appears to be Middle Creek's weak point. The Mustang offense needs to keep up the intensity to win the first round of the playoffs. Back to you.
Thanks, Kelsey. We're going to take a quick commercial break here at the Sports Block. You guys stay tuned.
we're back as the Middle Creek Marching Band takes the field for their performance of Beatlemania. So we're going to turn our attention down to the field as Middle Creek Marching Band performs Beatlemania for the last time on Middle Creek's field.
That's your award-winning Mighty Marching Mustang Band of Middle Creek High School. They will be performing tomorrow at the Cary Band Day competition, 5 o'clock at Cary High School. Come out and support your Mustang.
And we'll be right back with the start of the third quarter.
we're back for the second half of this game. It's all tied up 14-14 between Middle Creek Mustangs and the Laney Buccaneers. Just a real quick first half recap. Laney took a 14-0 lead early in the first quarter. Middle Creek able to come back and score 14 unanswered. A few controversial calls made by the officials certainly got the fans into this game, has certainly got the players into this game, and hopefully to start anew here at the beginning of this second half. Middle Creek has elected to receive in the second half, so they will be getting the ball. And following the controversial call on the, I guess, fumble in the end zone type area, Middle Creek looking to strike back with a score here. And this is going to be the first kick that Laney's made that hasn't been I don't know, 20-yarder.
Lopez is going to get away from defenders. Almost gets away. That could have been really dangerous for the Buccaneers. You know, Lopez is really, really fast, so if he would have broken through, he might have gotten into the end zone.
Yeah, good job of weaving through the defenders right there. Almost looked like the Laney quarterback.
Not quite. Mustang's going to start off second half with a run to Johnson.
Just makes it back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of a yard or two.
Salmon with a great throw to Sladik, just firing it in there right into the basket, into his hands. You know, very pinpoint precision.
Almost looked like he was trying to take his shoe off.
Yeah, he picked up his leg, and they're going to call a face mask.
Shoe mask? I don't know, is that thing? Trying to take off the opponent's shoe?
They called a face mask, but it's only for 5 yards. Said it was a 5-yard face mask penalty. Good play call by the Mustangs. Had Sladik in motion, and David with the fake shuffle pass, handoff to Johnson. The gain of 8, bringing up a 2nd and 2.
And we have a quick Tri-9 scoring update. Garner leads Athens Drive 28-7 at the half.
And that is the second time that number 77 has gone offside and stepped immediately. Disappointed with himself.
Yeah, he knows what he's done.
Penalty results in another Middle Creek.
And he is a senior, so you know, he's had the experience to not make these careless mistakes on the defensive side of the ball. Lopez gets the ball. He's gonna find a good turn up the sidelines. He's gonna get about 9 yards there. David's gonna roll left and find Quentin Ray. Gets a first down just inside the 15-yard line.
And the Mustang offense has been really explosive even in the beginning parts of the second half. They're showing what they can do.
Yeah, that coupled with Laney's penalties has put them in a great position to score.
That's a little tough.
And Quentin Ray just got the last play. Tried to go up and over the Laney defender. He got tripped up. Only got 4 out of the play. And Johnson's going to get the ball.
Johnson up the middle.
looking for a hole to get through into the end zone. Nothing going there. And bring up a 3rd down.
3rd and less than a yard.
And here's where you know, the 3rd down running play comes into matters. You know, you don't want to see David air it out. Gives it to Johnson, and I think he trips over himself. I don't know if he got enough for the 1st down. We'll wait to see where the ball is spotted. Bring up 4th down. Looks like he tripped just at the line of scrimmage. So Middle Creek's gonna go for it on 4th and 1. Hand off to Lopez. He gets the 1st down, and he's in the end zone for a touchdown.
Oh, come on.
The flag's gonna be thrown. Don't know who it's gonna be on.
That was very obvious.
Double flag.
And there's more flags flying.
We'll see.
It looked like there were some late hits or some unsportsmanlike conduct going on down there in the end zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually saw what happened. The defender in the end zone was, right at about the goal line, went to go tackle Nayland. Nayland was clearly in the end zone standing
He's a good
up.
halfway through in the end zone.
Yeah, kind of picked him up, and not picked him up, but threw him to the ground, and then whatever ensued after that. I don't know if these are going to be offsetting. I don't know if Middle Creek received one. I don't think they will, just simply because I didn't see any Mustangs pushing or shoving. I'm sure there were a few choice words, but I don't think there's a penalty against that. So we're just going to have to wait and see here. Officials probably discussing what they saw. It was just a quick and sudden outburst in the end zone.
Yeah, we definitely know what the first flag was for, but the second flag came in, after both teams kind of got together. We have unsportsmanlike conduct on Laney and unsportsmanlike on the Mustangs, so they will offset each other.
See, I don't agree with that. I mean, Laney players started it, and Middle Creek, although I didn't see it, may have retaliated. But I just feel like Laney should have received, some sort of punishment there. That's not even me being biased in the least. That's just how I feel.
Absolutely not. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Will. We didn't see any controversy by the Mustangs. It looked like all to be the men in white out there, but I guess the referees saw something we didn't.
And they're still talking something over. They've already made the official call. I'm not quite sure what they're still discussing.
And if anything, the Middle Creek players were holding each other back and getting out of that situation, so they avoid any penalties.
And, Laney has attracted quite a few penalties, especially in this opening drive. Gave the Mustangs a solid 20, 30 yards of penalties.
I don't know about you, Will, but I've never agreed with the offsetting penalty call. I know the referees, by their standards, have to call every penalty they see. But to me, the offsetting penalties, if it doesn't matter to either team, why call it?
Yeah, I do think there are certain situations where offsetting penalties would be appropriate. Say, maybe the opposing player did something, maybe not, great, but it's when the other player doesn't let it go that they become offsetting.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like that was the case here, though.
Yeah, I agree with that. In this situation, there was some scuffling, some jostling with words. So I do think that in this situation, it was appropriate to throw the flags.
And Middle Creek did get that personal foul earlier with a late hit on the quarterback for 15 yards.
So I think after this is all said and done, Middle Creek's going to be taking the field goal from, looks to be about 17-yard line, maybe.
Yeah, just about 17.
Huey's going to be kicking from about the 25. We saw him just before the half started. He was kicking he had some good range, so we'll see if he can knock this through and put the Mustangs up by a touchdown and a field goal.
Extra point. And this is dragging on maybe longer than it should here. The official call's already been made. I don't feel like any further explanation is needed.
The only thing, Castellano is talking one-on-one with the official. You know, maybe not sure why the flag was thrown for his team.
Mustangs Life also thanks sponsor Crooked Creek Golf Club, the Mustangs home for golf. Visit them online at playcrookedcreek.com.
Castellano's not happy with the way it turned out.
I mean, in the end, nothing gained, nothing lost. But yeah, I really do feel like these penalties really inspired the players on both sides of the field to, I guess, prove something.
Chris Huey with a booming extra point.
It went perfectly through the uprights. That was a beautiful kick.
You know, with that kick, he definitely had a lot more distance than what he just showed. He could have easily had, you know, in a different situation, he could have easily had an extra maybe 15 yards on that kick.
Yeah, you know, it almost looked like that kicker from what was Athens who kicked that 45-yard field goal against us.
Yeah, you know, the last thing with all the penalties that Middle Creek can do is let it get to them. They need to use it to keep the fire lit and, you know, keep going, not let off the gas, and just keep going through the game.
Yeah, and speaking of Athens, I think I remember Mr. Grafone saying around halftime that Garner was leading like something 28-7 going into half. So
Yeah, that was the right score.
come on, Athens. And it seems like they enjoy running that reverse. It seems to work a little bit here. It trips up around the 38-yard line.
Yeah, they've run it every kickoff. You know, one play they did a fake.
Yeah.
And that's certainly not something you see a lot in high school.
I mean, it's proved tonight that you know, they get some good yardage off the punts, or I mean kickoffs. So, you know, I guess it works for Laney. Maybe not some other teams. You know, they've got some good speed on their team. And this is the point of the game right now where Middle Creek's defense really has to shine. And Batts is going to get the handoff. Going nowhere.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see how Middle Creek players and Laney players interact after the play. Because obviously there's some blood in the water now. And I think it's going to take some discipline on Middle Creek's side to really prevent themselves from doing anything after the play.
I mean, we know, you know, being students at Middle Creek, that, you know, we have a pretty classy squad out here. So, you know, we haven't seen any instances of, you know, disciplinary actions. So, a pass by Lane is just over the head of Pearsall. You know, I'm actually really surprised that there was no flag on that play. You know, could have easily been called pass interference, but the referees said that it wasn't a catchable pass, so they didn't throw the flag, which is, you know, a good thing for the Mustangs. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 for the Buccaneers. As Lane and Batts are in the backfield. Lane has 3 receivers. He's going to take off and run. He stopped short, tackled by just about the whole Middle Creek defense, minus DeJuan Young and Marcus Bullock in the secondary.
And Middle Creek has 21 points unanswered, and they're getting the ball back. So, as I predicted earlier, Middle Creek's definitely got the momentum here, and they're definitely driving with the ball on offense and defense.
That was a big stop for the defense because that's not usual for the Laney offense to get that few yards, as we've seen in the previous drives.
Middle Creek's going to bring everyone in, try to block the punt. A short kickoff. And Gabe Cooper's going to fair catch it at the 35-yard line, where David Salmon will lead the offense.
And Big Club would like to thank the Crystal Palace for their sponsorship and their support of the Middle Creek student athletes. Check out the Crystal Palace Asian Fusion Buffet and catering on the website at crystalpalacebuffet.com.
So we'll see. We haven't seen the big pass tonight, as I predicted in the pregame.
Dangerous throw right there is number 19 manages to get a hand on it, almost intercepted by Laney's safety.
He almost pulled it in. Quentin Ray already had the big one-handed catch. Bernston almost came out. And Lopez gets the carry.
Tackled by Johnson.
It's going to bring up 3rd and 7 for the Mustangs. Ball on the 38-yard line. So we'll see if Mustangs can pick up the first down. And David just forces that throw, trying to find Ray on the sidelines. It's going to be a 3-and-out for the Mustangs.
Actually, I think that brought up 4th down, or so the scoreboard's saying.
Michael Rubino on the punt for Middle Creek.
And Laney's got 2 men back instead of the usual 1 that most teams go with.
And they're going to call for the fair catch as he dives for it.
34-yard line.
That was probably the best thing for him to do right there. He probably recognized that the spin on the ball would have taken the ball back towards the end zone, giving Laney pretty bad field position. Bats gets a handoff, taken down with force.
And it seems like the quarterback's getting less carries in the second half.
And then, because I think the Mustangs are catching on to the run, as they didn't get very many yards last drive, and they didn't get very many yards on that first drive, on that first play right there. So they're probably trying to come up with a new strategy.
Yeah, the 2 things that stick out in my mind towards the end of the first half was the 2 sacks they made on him, whereas he'd been, weaving and breaking tackles before that.
That's up the middle, tackled by Jacob Pearl.
And we have another quick Tri-9 scoring update with Richmond beating Cary 33-7 in the 3rd quarter.
First down, Laney.
After the big run, Laney will get the first down. Middle Creek's defense just needs to keep their composure. They came out last possession Laney had and really held them. So and there's a carry by Lane. I think he's just short of the first down marker.
Second and 1.
Yeah, you're saying there's some blood in the water. I really don't think Middle Creek's out for any controversy. They're just using the momentum on their tackles because they've been tackling really hard as of late.
Yeah, I noticed on the last tackle we saw that bit of dirt come up towards the end, just from him pushing off his back feet.
Bats is going to get the first down for the Buccaneers. Lane with Bats in the backfield. Lane's going to keep it. scrambling around, looking for a block, and he's going to run out of bounds. It's the biggest thing for Lane in his running game is his change of direction and mobility is out of this world. You know, he can, just like you just saw, he runs to one side of the field and, you know, just like that, just cuts back and he's on the other side of the field before the defense can even catch up.
Yeah, you can notice that the D-line is just not as quick as he is. They can't catch him once he changes directions.
Fumble on that play as Lane tried to hand it off to Betts. Just a little miscommunication. It's going to bring up 3rd and 6 for Laney. Lots of noise on the Middle Creek side. Lane looks for a pass. Just out of the hands of the receiver.
Pass is incomplete. Brings up 4th down.
You think they're going to go for it?
I don't know. They're at the part of the field where, you know, if they kick it, it's most likely going to go in the end zone for a touchback. But they can't go for a field goal. You know, I don't think that their kicker has a leg to make. Well, that'd be a 50-plus yard field goal. So Lane rolls out. And he's going to be sacked in the backfield. As the defense really showed up there and got to Lane.
And they finally caught on to his little switching direction trick.
Yeah, and you know, he lost. I think that was a sack for an 11-yard loss right there. So Middle Creek picking up some extra yards with that sack.
Great field position to start off now. Someone's going to hand off to Johnson. You know, gets a decent block, but Johnson's just going to be swallowed in the backfield.
Hey, I saw on that play. I'm pretty sure I can hear it from here, though. The Laney player was saying some things to the Mustangs when they're on the ground, and the Mustang players honestly just look annoyed. They don't even seem upset.
Quentin Ray gets a reception. It's going to be thrown to the ground. And there's some of the jostling you see after the play. You know, the Mustangs aren't really going to take slamming their own players to the ground. I mean, I know it's a good tackle, but, you know, there's a certain point where if it's you know, intentional or not.
You always got to protect your teammates when they get hurt like that. So
Middle Creek switching up the play. Johnson's going to get the carry.
Come on, Johnson.
And it looks like he might have gotten. Looks like he did not get enough for the first down.
Forward progress would show that he got the first down.
Looks like it's spotted just short, maybe 4th and inches.
They say 4th and short.
I don't know if they're going to bring out the chains and measure.
It would make sense in this situation just to, I don't even know, please the crowd to at least measure it before you rule it a 4th down, because it really did look like they had reached a first. And they're obviously going to go for it here.
Yeah, 4th and 1. The Mustangs of Middle Creek, they're going to bring on the running package with Lopez and Johnson, and a flag's going to draw the Laney Buccaneers offsides, and without a play, Middle Creek will get the first down.
That was number 43 that was offsides. So that's another Middle Creek first down.
And, you know, not just the Creek Crazies, but all the fans here in attendance are really coming to life.
Yeah, especially the ones right in front of the microphone. You can definitely hear them.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys can hear them.
Jackson Ray on the sweep. Second and 5.
Quentin Ray gets about 5 yards on that run. Lopez gets the ball again. It's going to be thrown forward.
It almost seemed like the defender carried him enough for the first down.
So he tackled him for the first down.
The Mustangs just marching down the field now.
Would you say they're stampeding down the field?
Stampeding down the field, that is a better word.
Jeff can get one good block. Lopez has a great block. Sladek's looks like he's gonna get the first down.
That's something we haven't seen in a while from David. There was a pitch off to Jeff Sladek in the backfield, and it seemed like it worked pretty well.
Yeah, because like that one where Quinn basically took 1 on 11 last week. It should be a run.
Lopez gets the ball. And he tackled
Lopez on the left side.
just as he hits the line.
Brings up second down.
David drops back, looks for a pass, incomplete, and a flag's gonna be thrown. I think it's gonna be pass interference.
You think that was pass interference?
I think so. It was a little late, but I think it's gonna be pass interference.
But the
It's
refs,
pass interference on Laney.
the refs were all over that call. They threw it right as it happened. They were not about to let that one slip away.
After this is to the goal, and
It's gonna give Middle Creek the first down.
first and goal.
It looks like just about 4 yards to go until the end zone.
And it's just perfect for Middle Creek as we have Johnson in the backfield, our powerhouse of a running back. And he's going to get the call,
Devon Johnson on the left side.
maybe a gain of 1.
And it looks like the clock's going to wind down here to end the third quarter.
That'll be the last play of the third quarter.
You know, looking at David running back now, he's got a little limp. Not sure what that's all about.
It's been there since like the second quarter. I was realizing it.
And we're going to take a quick commercial break. You guys stay tuned. You're watching the Sports Block. And we're back with the Sports Block. We're going to go down to Kelsey Barbario with a sideline report.
The Mustangs got their first lead of the game with the help from Jeff Sladek, Nayland Lopez, and Devon Johnson. The Laney players hit hard, but they still can't stop Middle Creek's powerful offense. The Mustangs need to keep up this dominance moving into the fourth quarter. Back to you.
Thanks, Kelsey. And we're just about ready to get underway here in this fourth quarter. Still a very close game, a lot closer than the other games around the area. Garner blowing out Athens, and I believe it was Richmond blowing out Cary. So definitely an entertaining game so far. Refs are keeping everybody on their toes. It's just been exciting, you know what I mean? It's going one way, then it's going another way. Granted, Middle Creek has 21 unanswered points and threatening to score again here. But again, close playoff game is always entertaining to watch.
Salmon's pass to Quentin Ray, just out of his hands. You know, Will, being a big sports fan, being a part of Middle Creek, we don't want to see the calls, go against us, but you don't want a boring game as far as playoffs are concerned. Definitely not.
Regular season, it gets, after a while, I hate to say this, but it gets like baseball where it just gets to a point where it's such a big lead that you just don't want to watch anymore. And that's encroachment, and I feel like that should be a personal foul call as well.
I honestly didn't see what happened.
I think it was 77 again. I'm not sure on that. Went off sides, and instead of just stopping and realizing he went off sides, he pushed down our lineman. So.
Nathan Lopez on the right side.
If anyone's wondering, the winner of this game plays Leesville, and they are winning 43-6 against Heritage in the third quarter.
And another blowout. So it's going to be 4th and goal. I think Middle Creek's going to bring out the kicking unit here, make it a 2-possession game, not risk keeping it within 1 score.
Yeah, it's a good call by the coaching staff. You know, not. I mean, to me, like, even if they don't make the field goal is good. And as I was saying, even if they went for it and didn't convert, you know, Laney would be stuck within the 5-yard line. But no, it was a good call to kick the field goal, and it puts Middle Creek up 24-14.
And it looks like there's an injured player on the field. We're going to take a quick commercial break. You guys stay tuned. And we're back with the sports block. I believe that is Chris Huey, the kicker, who was down there at the end of the play. I'm thinking it was just a leg cramp. We're not sure if anybody actually ran into him, but he is limping off, shaking his head. A problem with his leg. Regardless, Middle Creek is up 24-14. Laney will be getting the ball back here.
Ball goes out of bounds.
And that kicks out of bounds. So where do they start if the ball goes out of bounds? Is it the 30 or the 40? Isn't that how it is?
Yeah, I think it's we'll see where the ref. Yeah, it's going to be the 30, looks to be about the 35-yard line. Yeah, earlier in the game, I did see Chris Huey at the training table getting his leg rubbed, so probably just a little cramp.
You hope, at least. You never. We do have Kimmy Pittman available. Should Chris be unable to kick.
Green Hope is up 20-14 on Fuquay in the third quarter.
Official timeout for a measurement.
It looks like the referees are going to give him the first down. They were about to measure it, but I think they just decided, no.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that. Lane getting the call from the sidelines.
I have kind of an unrelated question. In college, you know how you can have a man in motion when you snap the ball? Are you able to do that in high school?
Yes.
You are? Okay.
Tripped up by Thomas Harshore. 7-7.
Yeah, I think we've seen it a couple times tonight. Middle Creek brings a man in motion and gives them a little shuttle pass, but yeah, you know, while they don't have to be fully set, as long as the man has been motioned by the quarterback.
All right, yeah, because I feel like high school football picks and chooses what aspects of college they want to adopt.
Garner is up 42-7 on Athens right now in the third quarter.
At least they didn't get, shut out. Looking at the positive side of that one.
Yeah, a lot of the top-ranked schools, such as Leesville and Garner, are blowing out their opponents. But this is really the game to watch now.
Yeah, like we said earlier in this game, Middle Creek's the favorite to win this one. Laney finished 5-5 overall, 1-5, I believe, in the conference.
4th and 1.
We have 4th and 1 for the Buccaneers. Middle Creek's defense used to have a big stop. Do you think? I think they're gonna run. What do you think, Will?
Oh well, yeah, I definitely think that. And they've been unsuccessful in, what is that?
I think that's the last 3 times.
Last 3 4th down attempts, so maybe it's time to start punting the ball.
We have a winning number for the 50-50 raffle. Winning amount is
I mean, yeah, Laney's definitely not out of this game.
I mean, it's only a two-possession game.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the 4th quarter, but there's still 8 minutes, 45 seconds left on this clock. Now you've got the Mustangs at the 50-yard line with a very good field position.
Naylan Lopez gaining a yard on the play to bring up 2nd and 9. Middle Creek's got 4 receivers. Sends Ray in motion, gets him a shuffle pass.
Called it.
He's going to try to power his way.
Quentin Ray.
And we saw last game against Apex that play where they pitched it to Johnson, and he actually elected to pass the ball. And as that play turned out, I thought Ray was gonna, he kind of stutter stepped. I thought he was gonna come up and pass it, because when Quentin Ray actually started Middle Creek football, he was a quarterback. So
I did not know that.
Little fun fact of the day.
I have another fun fact of the day. It is really cold outside.
You got that right. David evades pressure and finds Jay Schuler on the sidelines for a touchdown.
As Jay was wide open, he only had to beat one defender. Hit it and runs to the end zone to make this a 3-possession game.
And David Salmon really made that play happen. He was about to go down in the backfield and found Schuler on the sidelines, and really, I mean,
it almost looked like he might have crossed the line of scrimmage. Did you see that?
Yeah, I don't know.
It was very close, though.
Yeah, he was about to cross it when he threw it.
There's some people up in the booth pointing, so maybe that's what they were questioning.
Yeah, so they're going to take a timeout, and so are we. You guys stay tuned. We're watching the Sports Block. And we're back with the Sports Block. Is that Kimmy Pittman going in for the extra point right there?
No, that's Rubino, Michael Rubino.
The kick is good. Middle Creek 31.
My bad.
We would definitely like to see Kimmy Pittman out there, though.
So yeah, Middle Creek's up 31-14 now, as Laney's gonna have to pull a pretty big comeback here. They haven't scored since the first quarter.
First quarter, yeah.
So they're gonna have to start getting some momentum, or this one's gonna be over.
Looks like we got an injured Buccaneer.
And we're gonna take another break. You guys stay tuned. You're watching the Sports Blog. Getting ready to kick it off to Laney, the Buccaneers. They are down 31-14 here. As I said before the break, they're really going to have to step it up if they want to keep themselves in this game. Yeah, you know what? It always amazes me how some of these players are able to hang on to the ball. Because, you got these huge football players trying to knock it out of your hands while you're trying to advance, sometimes 2 or 3 at a time. I just don't understand how they're able to hold it into their body.
Especially with the pads on, too. That's a big factor.
Yeah, I mean,
Quick score update. Fuquay 21, Green Hope 20 in the third quarter.
Lane's going to roll left, find a receiver.
sorry, I just got to point out there's a fan that said "bam" as he hit the player. It was well timed.
Lane scrambling once again. Can't be taken down. Finally brought down.
Finally tackled by Jacob Pearl. Good for a Buccaneer first down.
It's good enough for a first down, so Laney will have the ball on the 37-yard line. Lane drops back to pass. Incomplete. That was number 12, Jacob Pearl, on the coverage for the Mustangs.
Jersey Mike subs on sale at the stand for $3 while they last.
Be 2nd and 10 now. Middle Creek's defense really needs to show up. You know, they are ahead, but you know, they can't slack off at all. As you know, Laney coming out really early in the game, scoring 14 points very, very quickly. So you know, they do have the ability to put up some points. Finally, Lane just figured that he couldn't go anywhere else. So, you know, I don't really want to call that a slide. He just kind of sat down.
This looks like a beautiful place to sit. I'm going to sit.
Kelly on reception.
And Laney gets another first down,
First down.
just breaking the 50-yard line. Lane looks to pass. Finds a receiver for a screen. Should be taken down just short of the first down marker.
Yeah, they're going to have to start hurrying up here. There's only 5 minutes left. They need to score 3 times, 2 touchdowns, and a field goal to tie it. Is that correct? Yeah, that's correct. So they're going to have to execute some onside kicks and some quick scoring here.
Pass just over the head of the receiver.
So what do you figure? This game ends around 10 o'clock, Lane. He's not getting home until 12:30.
Yeah, it's a long bus ride back to Wilmington. Boom! Big hit, Thomas Hartshorn.
I don't even think that was a big hit. It just looked like their helmets hit really hard.
All right, well, you go put on some pads and go tell me if that was a big hit or
There's
not.
the reason I'm in the booth and not on the field. I'd snap like a twig.
And another big hit. Mustangs are absolutely fired up right now.
It just seemed like 3 players came from opposite directions all at the same time.
So 2nd and 17. As Lane drops back to pass. Pressure again. Oh! Pass almost intercepted. Josh Hunter almost came up with the interception. He knew it too. He just laid down on the ground. It's 3rd and 17. Big play coming up here. This could be the I'm not going to say the deciding factor, but if Laney can convert, it'll be a lot of momentum put on their side. And he's short.
They're going to have to go for it here, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus, there's a Fuquay scores again, so it's 28, Fuquay, Green Hope 20 in the 4th quarter.
That's another interesting game. Fuquay, obviously our rival. I don't think we're lined up to play them really at any point.
No, I don't think so. Lane looks deep. Pass complete.
So 1 score here is not going to be a problem. 2 scores, we're still winning. 3 scores, how do we let that happen? But we'll cross that bridge if we come to it.
And I'm gonna go ahead and guess that if Laney scores here, they're gonna come out with an onside kick.
They're going to have to. I don't think they can stop the Mustangs defense in time to get the ball back.
Lennon on the carry. Tackled by Josh Hunter.
Ball on the 2-yard line. And Middle Creek is gonna take a timeout.
And so are we. You guys stay tuned. You're watching the Sports Block. And we're back with the sports block. Laney threatening here on the 2-yard line. They need 2 touchdowns and a field goal to tie this game up in under 3 minutes. So let's see how this goes. So Laney takes the touchdown here. Pending the point after attempt, they're going to be down by 10. So again, they're going to need 2 scores.
They're probably going to go for 2 here. I don't know. I think they're bringing on the kicker though.
Well, would there really be any advantage in going for 2 though?
Not really.
We have Leesville 43, Heritage 6 in the 4th quarter, and the winner of this game gets Leesville.
And it's good. Buccaneers cut the lead for the Mustang to 10.
So I think everybody and their mother in the stadium can see an onside kick coming as Laney's going to try and snag the ball back. Middle Creek's obviously going to send out their hands to receive the onside kick. I mean, I don't think there's been a successful onside kick on either side of the field all season, so Laney's going to have to get lucky here.
Beating Athens Drive 42-7. Fuquay beating Greenhope 28-20. Leesville beating Heritage 43-13. And Wakefield up on Wake Forest Roseville 33-20.
The Mustangs are setting up for the onside kick. And you know, if Middle Creek does recover, you know, the best thing for them to do is just run the clock out. Not try to score, not try to do too much, just run the clock out.
And I think Middle Creek's going to come up with the ball.
Is recovered by Gabe
That was a very... They didn't get the ball back, but I thought that was a very well-placed kick.
Yeah, it was a good onside kick. Gabe Cooper put himself in a bit of danger when he jumped up to get the ball.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I mean, especially in the playoffs, you do what you gotta do to get the win.
Yeah, sometimes. Do you remember? I believe it was in the. I don't think it was Super Bowl. The playoffs where the Arizona Cardinals were in it, and Kurt Warner threw that pass up to, I believe it was Anquan Bolden, and he was in the hospital. Really, do you guys remember that?
No, I don't.
Just not related to the game, not important, but their wide receivers and receivers do tend to put themselves in a bit of a danger.
And David Salmon's still walking a little gingerly on that. I think it's his right ankle, and he's hopping around.
Five seconds left.
Yeah, we need to get a snap off.
Jalen Lopez on the left side.
And like I said, the best thing to do now is just run the ball. You know, I'm not sure how many timeouts Laney has. They're going to take one right now.
And we're going to take a break. You guys stay tuned. You're watching the Sports Block. Sports Block. Middle Creek leads 31-21 with just under 2 minutes left here in the 4th quarter. It's 3rd and 2, and really they just need to convert to seal this game away.
As they do.
They easily get it, and it looks like they're going to be able to run the clock out here, as Laney only has 2 timeouts left, and it doesn't look like Laney's going to have very much time to do anything past this point.
Well, it looks like Fuquay scores again, making the game 35-20 with 11:37 left in the game.
And they're going to try to take as much time off the clock as possible. Someone hands it off to Johnson as he pushes his way. Gain of around 8. And I think this is the only instance where scoring is not your first priority. You don't need to score, you just need to run as much time as you can off, and as of now, they can just end the game.
Yeah.
Well said.
Thank you, guys. Johnson gets a carry again. 37 seconds left. Middle Creek holds a lead of 31-21.
Timeout, Buccaneers.
And Laney's going to take another timeout, kind of an unnecessary timeout.
Yeah, and we're going to take a quick break. You guys stay tuned. You're watching the Sports Block. Back with the Sports Block. Middle Creek just closing this one out. If you're interested, stay tuned after the game. We're going to have Kelsey Barberio with a sideline report, followed by a quick summary wrap-up program after a quick break. So Middle Creek's just going to let the time run out here. They only need one more snap before this ends. Obviously, great game on both sides here. Chilly night. Whatchamacallit.
They actually don't need another snap.
The Buccaneers, they come out here, score 14 points. Middle Creek comes back with 31 unanswered. Great job by the Mustangs. They're going to be playing Leesville next week. So we're going to go down to Kelsey Barberio on the sideline.
Big play of the fourth quarter was a 50-yard touchdown pass by the Mustangs' Jay Schuler and David Salmon. Michael Rubino filled in for kicker Chris Huey for the extra point. A sack by Middle Creek defensive end John Olson also helped to secure the victory. The Mustangs are next scheduled to play Leesville Road at home. Back to you.
Thanks, Kelsey. With that, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Stay tuned for some wrap-up stats. You're watching the Sports Block. And we're back. Just summarize the game real quick. Again, Laney came out here 14-0. Wasn't looking good for Middle Creek. First quarter ended. Middle Creek came out, scored 14 unanswered, went into halftime, came out and just absolutely dominated the second half, giving up no points and scoring a tremendous amount. Some notable things: Chris Huey injured his leg. We're still not entirely sure what happened. I have a feeling he will be back next week. Some controversial calls by the ref at the time seemed important, but really weren't a big factor in this game, as most of the penalties drawn were from Laney being undisciplined, offsides, encroachment, things like that. We will be playing Leesville at home next Friday. It's gonna be a tough matchup to say the least. They absolutely obliterated the team they were playing, 40-something to not a lot of something.
Yeah. Well, I got the score for that. Leesville 43, Heritage 13. So yeah, that's definitely a blowout.
Well, 10, 11, 12, not a lot of something, 14, 15. That's going to do it for us. We'll get us alongside Kevin Brunson, Nick Holliday, and Austin. We'll be back here next Friday. I almost forgot our camera crew. Go camera crew.
And Kelsey.
And Kelsey. Okay. We'll be back next week. Good night.